When I was about 11 years old, my dad came to me one springtime and said, "John, you're going to start a business. In fact, you're going to start a lawn care business." At that time, I had no idea what was involved in starting a business. And honestly, I remember being a little afraid. I think I was a little nervous, mostly unsure about what I needed to do moving forward. My dad came through and said, or maybe this part was my mom, and they said, "You need a name for your business." And I had no idea what I should call it, but they said, "We're going to call it John's Lawns." The next thing he told me was that in order to cut grass, I needed a lawnmower. At that time, my dad had two lawnmowers. He had a walk-behind lawnmower that he no longer used, and a riding lawnmower. And at the time I thought, walk-behind mower looks pretty good. And my dad said, "You're going to be mowing so many lawns." And my dad had this vision of me as a lawn care professional. He says that used broken mower won't work for you. So I said, "Sure, right? What am I going to do?" And instead of taking me to like a Home Depot where you get a regular lawnmower, he took me to Cutler's. It's in Orem. It's a place that only sells professional lawn care equipment. So to give you an idea, most lawnmowers are what, $200? This lawnmower was $1,000 back in 1992, 93. And at that moment, I followed my dad blindly, and I said, "Sure, Dad, let's get it." At that time, thought that I would be able to pay it off by getting a job at Smith's. It's a grocery store down the street, about 2 miles from my house. That, in my mind, was how I was going to pay my dad back. I didn't think people would pay me to mow their lawn. I didn't think I'd be able to create a business. We came home. He said, "You're going to create a flyer." In fact, I think we created about 140 flyers, and he showed me on a map of our neighborhood where I was supposed to hand these flyers out. He then told me how to price the lawn. He said, "You're going to charge $15 if you mulch and $20 if you bag." I think that summer and this experience forever changed my life. The reason why I'm starting this vlog is the experiences that I'm learning, and by providing transparency into that, I think can only help you in your journey, whatever that journey is, and wherever you are, whether you're thinking about starting a business or whether you're currently in the trenches. The rest of this vlog is going to be very different from a regular vlog. There will be no more startup advice. This is not me on some cool adventures, but you may bore you. You may want to turn it off. What I'll be doing is I made a custom camera rig, and I created a forward-facing LCD screen, and I had to make my own custom mount. So what I do is I show myself getting the aluminum, cutting it, measuring it, drilling the holes, fitting it correctly, and I thought it was really fascinating. It was kind of one of the first things I actually shot with my camera. I actually shot these next series of clips before anything else you've seen, but it was something that I thought was pretty awesome, and it was a fun project, and so I wanted to share that with you. So anyways, with that, thanks for watching. And again, if you decide this part's boring, tomorrow tune in and there will be another vlog. Now I'm going to use this drill press to make sure that the hole is exactly perpendicular and doesn't come in at an angle, but goes straight up and down. I'm using machine oil to make sure I don't burn the drill bit up. That's a lot of friction on a bigger drill bit. Grab the tap and die. A tap and die set helps you put threads on a bolt or on the inside of a hole, so that way they'll fit together properly. And this puts threads on the inside of the hole. Make sure that's nice and firm. Pull out the machine oil again.
And push really hard, straight up and down.
Move it to this other side. Now I'm going to add some gaffer's tape to make sure that when the camera body and that the metal plate are touching, that there's friction, so it's just not metal sliding on metal. This is my setup. I got it for business reasons and for my vlog. The high level is I wanted a forward-facing LCD, a 4K camera, had an uncropped sensor. The closest camera was a 70D or an 80D by Canon. The problem with those cameras is that they're not in 4K and that they're not an uncropped sensor. The benefit of an uncropped sensor is, one, it does really well in low light. The benefit of 4K, in my belief, and this is just a hunch, is that YouTube and other search engines rank higher quality content, is that YouTube will rank 4K over other videos. YouTube wants new content, fresh content, so 4K is an easy way to distinguish between that. And also it's higher quality, so my assumption is that they're going to assume that more work went into producing the video. Now granted, YouTube will look at probably 50 or 100 other factors like likes, shares, the influence of the people who are liking and sharing, etc., those who are commenting in the video, how many subscribers someone has. But ultimately, if I'm YouTube, I'm going to say, one, is this new content? Is this great content? And I believe that 4K is the answer, one of the things that YouTube and other... I wanted an LCD screen that was forward facing. Again, this Canon 70D or the 80D has that, but the problem is it's really small and it's on the side. And so what happens is if you're filming yourself but you're looking at the LCD screen, you'll be looking off this way and it'll be very obvious I'm not looking at you, the audience. I believe that the eyes are the key to the soul. And so having an LCD screen that's smaller or off to the side means that I'm not doing my best to tell the story like I should. This is the setup. I got a Sony a7S Mark II. I got a 16 to 35 millimeter lens. Got a Rode mic to help me have better audio. Thank you so much. Questions, let me know below. As always, please subscribe if you're looking for more stuff on entrepreneurship.